So, we finally get round to it. Necronomicon, a subject of which I've always been a sort of controversy for ever since Gauntz and Harms came out with the Necronomicon files. But we're finally to it then, the Necronomicon. And we definitely have no shortage of things to say about the Necronomicon.
Pretty weird session.
So yeah, the Necronomicon. I'm sure at some place you first heard of this word. You may not even know to which it refers to, or to which you first heard it. It's almost an archetypal thing in the back of human consciousness, the idea of a Necronomicon. Certainly a well-known grimoire. And by grimoire, I do of course refer to the Simon edition. Several times authors have asked when I refer to the Necronomicon to which I refer, and of course I refer to the Simon edition. I see no other valid contribution to a practical Necronomicon out there. Although I do not intend to discourage the seeker, much like the Enochian system, I do not wish to be misunderstood as taking these things lightly just because I present it the way that I do. The practice of the necronomical arts should be undertaken with serious intentions in mind. And many traditions look at it as something dark and evil, and if you do that, you're only going to invite more dark and evil into your life. So it is better to just look at it from a truth perspective. It revives the Sumerian and Babylonian mythos. Doing such is not in and of itself evil whatsoever. You should not take lightly the potential power of the Necronomicon. It is not something to be feared either. It's also not a book that's going to drive you crazy if you decide to read it. If such is the case, or if you find such to be the case, I strongly encourage you to seek help, because honestly, an unstable mind is an unstable mind, and there's absolutely no justification for why a book in and of itself is going to cause you to be anything other than what you are. So, what I would say is to, as with all aspects of magic, to look at it from a point of self-honesty, and not even necessarily required to be a wizard for you to make actual practical use of the Necronomicon. But I do recommend studying it, I do recommend reading it, I do recommend being aware of the powers and energies that are inherent within it. It's not something that any practitioner takes lightly, even those that think of it as a hoax of sorts. And this is something, when it comes to logic, this is something very important to take into consideration, is that if it's a hoax, then it's a hoax. If it's real, then it's real. But it cannot be both a hoax and a dangerous book. If it's nothing but a bunch of puffery, then there's no danger to be had. So when examining something as serious as the Necronomicon, I strongly urge you to look at it from a point of self-honesty. I am certainly not unaware of the controversy surrounding Simon's Necronomicon. Far from it. As I mentioned prior, with the assistance of Harms and Gauntz, the Merlyn Stone Sorcerer's Handbook and the Necronomicon actually became a little bit more popular as a result of the controversy. So these are things that we'll try and put to rest a little bit too. First and foremost, the information within the Simon Necronomicon is not entirely unique to the Simon Necronomicon. And in fact, the biggest controversy surrounding the book is not whether or not it is a successfully usable work of magic, but whether or not it should be called the Necronomicon because of its allusions to the Lovecraftian mythos. Beyond the semantics of the title itself, I see very little point in pressing an idea of controversy regarding its reality or not. The methodology works, and if you're going to bring a lot of fear and misunderstanding to it, that's all you're going to get out of it.